friends, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Amy, and today we are going to do yet another homeschool room tour. I did one a couple weeks ago, but I have since then switched rooms. I think I had mentioned in that video that in the future there was another room that I had thought about using for our homeschool room, and it was actually a room we had used before. But the downside of having it in here at the time was it was half homeschool and half office slash crafting room for me. And I just couldn't keep the two separate. If I had my kids doing their schoolwork, I kept wanting to come to my desk and create and work. And I just could not keep the two separate. So we moved the homeschool room out of in here and into the dining room. And it worked. It really did. But just in the back of my mind, knowing that I had all this space and we were using our dining room to do school, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, it worked. It worked awesome for us. But I wanted my dining room as my dining room. And I like change. So I decided to change it up, and I moved my office and craft stuff. Everything is out. It's actually in my husband's man cave right now because I'm taking a break from some of that right now. And it's going to be a couple months before I get back to it anyways. So when I do decide to go back to work, I will go out there and get everything set up and stuff the way I want it, and that'll be my office. So the den has become full-on schoolroom. It feels great. I'm so pleased with it. So spacious. So we got everything set up. I think it took probably about 8 hours, but I worked straight. It took one day, and I got it all done. I feel good about it. I didn't feel good at the end of it, but I got it all done, and I feel so much better to have everything all in one place and out of the dining room. And it has like built-in shelves and stuff. You'll see here in a minute. It's got a built-in desk, which is my area where I keep my computer and stuff like that. And then it's got built-in shelves and stuff, so it just works perfect for the schoolroom. Now, one thing I do want to say, there is parts that I have not finished painting. Those have got to get done soon. I'm hopefully in the fall that I can get to that, but for now, it works. What we do have painted needs to be repainted, so just don't focus too much on that. The walls aren't finished yet. But as far as storage, shelving, like the posters and everything is in place, and it looks and feels so much more like a schoolroom than the dining room did. Now, I will say this disclosure. You do not have to have a schoolroom. That is one of the biggest things I see, homeschool mamas asking. I don't have the space that some of you have. I won't be able to homeschool my kids. Yes, you can homeschool your kids. It's without having a room. In fact, our first year of homeschool, when half of this room was homeschool room, it was filled with posters, and we had their separate little desk and their chairs. It was just like a classroom. And it was the cutest little thing, but we found ourselves on the couch more. And of course, since then, we've grown to enjoy. My kids do better with structure. So if they're sitting in a desk working, they're focusing more than if we were in the living room. Some kids can do just fine in the living room. So like I said, you do not have to have a classroom or even an area to homeschool. You can homeschool anywhere you're at with anything you have. So I just wanted to say that. But anyways, without further ado, I will go ahead and get into it. I'm probably not going to go quite into as much detail as I did in the last one, just because, like for instance, my teacher cart, nothing's changed about it. It's just rolled in here to another room. So stuff like that, I'm not going to open up drawers and show you each thing that I have in each section. But basically the new storage, the new shelving, stuff like that, I'll show you how everything is organized and put away and kept. So here we go. Okay, so as you walk into our classroom. It's actually our den. You walk in from our kitchen area, and this is what you see. This is to the left right here. I'll start over here on the side. This table was actually out in my husband's shop. He used it to put race car motors and stuff on, and when it was my craft room in here, this is my heat press. It's not staying in here, and neither is this table actually. But he just added the wood strips on top, the planks right here, to hold my heat press. But like I said, once I get my office and stuff set up outside, the heat press and the table will both be out of in here. This is a laptop. The screen is cracked, so I use it use the TV like a big monitor for the laptop. It hardly ever gets used anymore, but whenever we need it, it's there. This is just some other stuff that needs to go in my office. With all these windows in this room, it tends to get pretty warm. So we have a portable air conditioner right here that we turn on when we need it. Of course, our trash can, paper shredder, and that is just some other stuff that needs to go out in my office whenever I decide to bring it out. Here is our US map and our world map. There's our inflatable globe, and then of course we have all of our sign language stuff up there. And then here is our gallon man and division man. Back door. And there is my teacher cart. Like I told you, I'm not going to go into detail too much because I've already done all that. There is another 3-drawer cart. I've got our music notes and stuff in here, and then some human body posters and stuff in the second drawer for whenever we get ready to need those. They'll be in there. And the bottom drawer is empty. I showed y'all this cabinet. It's got these storybooks here, some extra notebooks and paper. And then the last 2 cabinets here, or the shelves in this cabinet, are just some of my stuff for units and lessons that we're not touching base on this year. And then on top, I have our, it's actually, like I said in the last one, my mom's Ark Encounter book. This is a little Statue of Liberty that my sister and her family went to New York and brought back to my kids. Have our telescope. And then a pencil door hanger. I'm thinking about adding our school name to that, but I haven't decided yet. And then this little string hanging on the windows is for artwork for our world geography and history. We're going to have a lot of art projects and stuff, so they'll be able to hang them up in the window to show them off. Then right here we have our nature tray. I absolutely love this thing. And then I showed y'all in one of my haul videos, this is their pencils and crayons and markers, colored pencils, scissors, glue, stuff like that. This here is some of our human body stuff, printables and stuff for our upcoming science lessons. And then down there is just some extra printables for our world geography and history lessons. And then this shelf, I've got a cup of extra highlighters, a cup of extra Sharpies. These little cardboard or paper flower pots, my kids did at Bible school a couple years ago. And so we have just kept those, and I think they're just adorable and very cute decorations. One of my little cactus, this is actually a picture of my husband when he was little, and this dad sign I made for my dad when I was a baby, or I say baby, when I was a kid, and he kept it in his workshop for years and years. He passed away several years ago, and so I made sure to get that out of his workshop, and I've kept it in here in my office and stuff ever since. Alright, and then these little pencil pouches here, they're actually empty for now, but these will be, we have a reward system, and so my kids will be getting tickets, and they can turn in their tickets for their prizes or whatever they decide they want. I can do a video on that if I need to. Just let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that, more in depth of our reward system. So every time they get tickets, they can put them in their little pouches and hold on to them there until they get ready to turn them in. And then on the second shelf is all of our science and world geography and history extra references and resources and stuff that we'll be using. And on the bottom is just some empty binders that we can use if we need to, and some empty containers and totes and stuff like that, again, for if we find we need them for anything else. Alright, and then here are their fluffy chairs. These will be just used like for if they want to sit down and read, or if they just want to be comfortable while they're doing their math. Their math is online, so if they want to be comfortable while doing math, they can sit here. And then here is our main bookshelf. Up here I have, it starts out with some vocabulary, ELA, poetry, stuff like that, spelling workbooks, things like that, and then it goes into science, different books. Most of that up there is space and nature. And then it goes into some American history type stuff. And then you'll see mummy. I've got some Egyptian and some Native American, and I want to say some Titanic things on that shelf. And then these two shelves side by side are all of, not all of, but some of our chapter books. I have them organized like this is the only Goosebumps books we have right now. These are all, or some of them are going to be read aloud books for this year. And then I have some Who Was and What Was books. I Survived, some Magic Trio, some Bear Grylls books. Here's two of the Impossible Quest. We've got, I believe, the whole set of those. I'm just not sure where the rest of them are. My kids both have books in their bedrooms, and they have a little room outside that they call their kid cave. Excuse me. And a lot of their books are out there as well. These books, the Mystery of books, we've gotten from Usborne. And then the Prince Warrior books, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Captain Underpants, Dogman, and then a lot of Minecraft and some rescue dogs. There's a few more. And then there's a few of my daughter's Unicorn and American Girl books. She's got some Mary Poppins. And then these are all just random chapter books. There's a bunch of like the dog books, like Dog's Purpose, stuff, Lily's Story, Dog's Way Home, things like that. My son loves dogs, and so every time he sees a new one, he gets it. Those are all just random chapter books. Then we've got a couple Junie B. Jones. Let's see. Move their chairs out of the way real quick so y'all can see the bottom two shelves. Alright, this is the set of encyclopedias that was my dad's when he was little. And then we've got all of our thesauruses and dictionaries and stuff like that. This set here is from Usborne. It's a beginner's book set, but it's got such great information in it. We still use it, even for my middle schoolers, whenever we're touching base on those topics. Alright, then down here, we just got some fun books, coloring books, how to draw books, optical illusions, how things work, some Christmas books, some joke books, stuff like that. And then we've got our educational puzzles and a new world country game that I found on Amazon. And then we've got our fun puzzles and our fun board games. And then that container there is the fun card games, like Crazy 8, stuff like that. Alright, and then here we have our computer desk. The table is old. My mom had this in her house when I was growing up, and we've been using it here for the past few years. But they'll each have a chair, and they'll be able to sit at their computers and do their math, typing, and stuff like that on those. And then here is this cart. I've already gone into detail about what's in all of these, so I'm not going to do that again. This mess down here is a monstrosity, but it's just a bunch of random things that I haven't had time to clean out and go through. Like this little blue bag here is my tool bag. It's got the drill, stuff like that, so that stuff's staying. My laptop bags and stuff like that. It just needs to be cleaned out, and I just haven't done it. So it'll eventually get done. And then I've got my filing cabinet. This is where, of course, bills and stuff like that. But I also have the bottom drawer for all of our homeschool stuff, things I need to keep track of and stuff like that. And then there is my husband's guitar. And I think I showed this in the last one. That is for my daughter when she's sitting in her fluffy chair to use like as a little tabletop area. And then there's my daughter's keyboard and my husband's guitar notebook with all his little notes and stuff in it. My son's guitar must be in his room because it's not in here. So he's probably in there practicing or something. We've got calculators here. Our Nat Geo fun readers and quizzes. We've got our old US map. And then I think I showed all this stuff in the last one, but I'll go ahead and kind of show it a little bit. One of those little writing boards, our fraction bingo, our alphabet Legos. Alright, and then I have our pastels, scented markers, sand art, paints, tangrams, and art supplies. And then I've got skinny markers, brush pens, dry erase, chalk. And then I have 2 things of markers and some easy readers. And then I have timers and dot markers. And all of our foreign language flashcards and things that I've printed and stuff and laminated for them are in here. And then here is, these were on the wall in the dining room, but we will just use them whenever we need them and whenever we get ready to work on our foreign language. And then this shelf, here's our dry erase boards with our felt erasers. This organizer right here is full of batteries for the keyboard and things like that. Here is our morning basket and all the stuff in it. It's all fallen backwards so it doesn't look as full as it used to. Here's our math manipulatives and our new pencils, clay tools, and clay. And then this is our scratch pad for some of our art projects. And then up here I have some sheets of wood that I was keeping in case I needed to combine or separate one of these shelves, to make smaller shelves, but I haven't done that yet. Here's all my laminator, my paper punch, my paper cutter, my binding machine. And then this here is some old laptops that still work, but we'll just keep in here if we ever need them. And then this is our candy treat basket. And this is all of our flashcards. I've got like world, US, animals, science, history, stuff like that. And then here is the tickets for our reward system. Alright, and then I've got, there's some colored cardstock and some felt sheets up here on top. And then of course our pencils, crayons, and colored pencils. And then all of our other cardstock, the colored cardstock, the neutral, and the glitter. And then an extra Bible and a magnetic sign or whatever if we ever need it for different activities. Alright, and then here, this is my son's section. This is all of his curriculum, all of his notebooks, workbooks, binder, everything. It will be in this shelf. And then our globe, Mr. Fred, our human body model, and our space wooden puzzle is all on this shelf on display. And then here's my daughter's section, again with all of her curriculum, notebooks, workbooks, whatever. Okay, and then under here is our science wall. We'll post all of our vocabulary, and like right now we're fixing to start back on finishing up our botany unit. So the parts of the leaf, parts of the flower, parts of a seed, stuff like that, will all be tacked up on our science wall. Alright, and then this is just, like I said, it all still needs to be repainted and everything. What has been painted is dingy, so it just needs a good paint job in here, but I'll get to it eventually. But this is actually a bench. It's a storage bench. So it's got random files and stuff like that in there for our family personal stuff. Alright, and then here's my built-in desk. I have my computer and my printer. basic little desk area. This is what I'm going to keep track of for their reward system. Each strip is 1 week, so there's 5 weeks on each page, and I will tally mark on their names for under each day for when they do something good and deserve a ticket, so that at the end of the day is when I can pass out the tickets, instead of, you know, interrupting our language arts or whatever lesson we're on to pass out tickets. I can do it when we're done. Alright, this binder is one of my old teacher planners that I had made, I think, our 2nd year of homeschool, and of course ended up changing to my binding machine teacher planner that I made. This little organizer here has got, let's see, it's got whiteout, staples, post-it notes, a few index cards, paper clips, thumbtacks, stuff like that. And then here is my pen organizer. I'm a pen fanatic. This is some of my favorite ones. Highlighters, colored pens, and all my felt tip pens. My Scotch tape. These 2 things have been given to me from my kids over the years. My daughter painted this little squishy and gave it to me. And then I've got some of our bill stuff back there with envelopes, stamps, and stuff like that. Hand sanitizer, and this is some of my binding coils and some of the rolled up paper with my packing tape. Like I have a mess on top of my printer. This is real life, y'all. Just some extra copy paper, a whole clipboard, stuff like that. Then my little cup of scissors and different tools, hole punch and stuff. My hand sanitizer. Then we move over here, and here is my bulletin board with some of our different things on it. I went over that in the last one. There's our little country, let's see, little country spinner that we got from the Dollar Tree. Our seeds. My daughter is learning this song on her keyboard. She's actually just about got it, but I printed this out and hung it up for her with the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star music notes for the keyboard. Here is the 3 posters that came with Mr. Fred. They're also double-sided, so they have other information on the other side as well. Here's our rewards that they get to choose from and how much each one of them cost as far as tickets. We have an old school pencil sharpener. Here is our whiteboard. And then we have the hamburger paragraph, the guitar notes and keyboard notes, and then our sign language and stuff starts back going that way. Oh, and then also we have this rocking chair has been in this room even the last time it was schoolroom and stuff. My husband likes to come in here sometimes, whether it be office and I'm in here working, or school and we're schooling and stuff. My husband likes to come in here, and whenever the kids and him are practicing with their guitars and keyboard, he will come in here and sit in this chair and work with them. It just gives him a little comfy spot to be able to come and join us. But anyways, that is everything. That is our schoolroom. Their fluffy chairs are still pulled out, but of course they'll be pulled in and out every once in a while, so when they're getting used. I'm hoping to be able to get their work table this week, and it's going to be a long, skinnier, kind of similar to the shape of that one, but longer for right here in the center, so that they can sit at it and face me up here by the board. So it's going to go right here in the middle of the room. But yeah, that's our homeschool classroom. That's what we decided to go with for this year instead of the dining room. And we haven't even started school yet, but it has already, this room just, it works. It works better for a schoolroom, like I said, because of all the built-in shelving units and the built-in desk and stuff like that. So it works. I thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button so you don't miss our future videos. Again, I thank y'all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.